Did Diddy stay in touch with you as a mentor afterwards, or even now?
No.
From an 11-year-old rapper's story to claims of Diddy's bad behavior at Bad Boy Records to the inner workings of the famed record label, this video will reveal what's been going on behind the scenes of the famous record label. Today we will spill the beans on how Diddy treated a young artist, and we're here to break it down for you. This piece aims to give you a simple and clear picture of what's been happening at Bad Boy Records, covering everything from mentorship to artist controversies. Let's dive straight into it. Now, let's dig into what went down with another artist at Bad Boy Records, this time a guy named Lil Jerome. Back when Bad Boy Records hit big with Notorious B.I.G's Ready to Die album, they signed Lil Jerome, an R&B kid from Ohio. His first single, Too Old For Me, even made it as the lead single for Bad Boy Greatest Hits Volume 1. He's not just a one-hit wonder either. Lil Jerome gets into the remix game with a rapper called Notorious, adding some extra flavor to his track. He even jumps on the Belly soundtrack with a redo of Stevie Wonder's I Never Dreamed You'd Leave in Summer. So, you see, Lil Jerome is making moves, getting attention, and everything seems on the up and up. But then, after a couple more songs, No Disturbed Sign, with Heavy D and Diddy, and Dear Yvette, Lil Jerome sort of disappears. The guy was making strides, and suddenly he's gone. What happened next is where things start to get interesting. Jerome seemed set for success, but then things took a turn. After dropping a remake of Stevie Wonder's song for the Belly soundtrack, Jerome kind of vanished into thin air. In an interview, he spilled the beans, saying it wasn't entirely his call to leave the label. See, he had about 13 songs ready for an album, but then puberty hit him hard. Now, picture this. Lil Jerome's voice is changing with puberty, and it's not the smooth transition you'd expect. His voice isn't cooperating, and on top of that, he's dealing with reflux disease. Remember that panic attack Lil Jerome had on the set of Dear Yvette? He went into his trailer, and next thing you know, he's having a full-blown panic attack. Family's there. He's dressed up, ready to roll, but he can't. And what does Diddy reportedly say? Forget it. Project dropped. When the word got out about him having a full-on panic attack during the shooting of a music video, Diddy supposedly dropped the whole project right then and there, not giving much thought to whether Jerome was in the right headspace for more music. Some even say Diddy didn't care because Jerome got sick and the dollar signs disappeared. Later on, when Jerome reached out to others on the label, they ghosted him. In an interview, Lil Jerome spills the beans that after their time at Bad Boy Records, Diddy didn't stay in touch. It's a bit of a bummer because, during their time at the label, things seemed okay. The rapper thought Diddy treated them well, especially considering the kid was just a child. But, as it turns out, the mentorship vibes didn't last, leaving the artist a bit let down. The deal here is that the rapper expected more contact or support from Diddy even after leaving the label, but it didn't happen. It's like the mentorship chapter closed without a proper ending. But hey, it's not all bad for Jerome post-Bad Boy. He went on to get a degree in international business, a master's in marketing, and learned a bunch of languages. Looks like leaving Bad Boy Records turned out to be a silver lining for Lil Jerome. Alright, let's shine a light on a few more artists and what went down with them after their time at Bad Boy Records. First up is Carl Thomas. He decided to leave the label because, when his brother passed away, Diddy didn't show much understanding. Instead of giving Carl some time to grieve, Diddy called him up a week later, asking when he'd be back in the studio. Not cool, right? Then there's Maze. This guy was making waves in R&B and rap, and everyone expected big things from him. But out of the blue, he drops the bomb that he's ditching the music game to become a preacher. This move surprised a lot of folks, especially considering he was doing great on the charts from 96 to 99. Now, let's talk about Faith Evans. She was big in the 90s, tied to Bad Boy from 94 to 04. After leaving, she went through some rough patches but eventually settled down with Todd Rusaw, with whom she has a couple of kids. But marriage ain't always a smooth ride. In 2010, Faith got into some legal trouble for drunk driving, and in 2011, she and Rusaw called it quits. During all this, rumors popped up about Diddy's connection to Biggie's tragedy. But Faith stepped up, defending Diddy and saying he had nothing to do with it.
He knew good talent, and he actually had ideas for all of us. Like when, he would tell me, like, you're going to be this.
According to her, their bond was unique, and she shut down any talk about Diddy being involved in Biggie's passing. Let's take a look at all the controversies and feuds that stirred the pot around Diddy and Bad Boy Records. First off, there's this ongoing feud between Diddy and 50 Cent recently, with all the accusations flying around. 50 Cent wasted no time throwing shade at Diddy. This feud brought up past discussions about them, and people dug up a 2010 radio interview where 50 Cent raised eyebrows about Diddy's relationship with Cassie. See, 50 Cent had some suspicions about explicit materials involving Cassie. He suggested that the disturbing pictures weren't Cassie's doing but were somehow linked to Diddy. In the interview, 50 Cent didn't hold back, calling Diddy some not-so-nice names and hinting that sharing those explicit images wasn't an act of goodwill.
The nigga Puff was like, yeah, like first he was amping him to get style. Then he was like, yo, when we gonna get the chance to kick it, like we could just hang out.
Now, let's talk about Method Man, who found himself in a bizarre situation at a club in LA. Diddy, for some reason, decided to hit on him. Instead of keeping things chill and inviting Method Man over like a normal person, Diddy sent someone else to trick him into getting into a car.
Tracy Waples, she outside in a Benz like, Meth, come on, get in the car. I'm not making a connection here.
It's like a weird game for Diddy, putting straight guys in awkward spots. And there's more. Exhibit, just trying to have a good time, got the shock of his life when Diddy sneakily took him to an explicit gay club. It wasn't your average club, and Exhibit wasn't expecting to see what he saw.
Speaking of the club, right? I heard you tell a story before about how Puffy, he took you to a club before, and you seen a whole lot of men kissing, and you seen a whole lot of weird stuff going on.
Diddy tricked him into the whole situation, and it was a wild turn of events. Then there's this strange story involving Superhead, who hinted at some mysterious past incident with Diddy. She laughed off questions about it and promised to explain later. Fast forward to Diddy inviting Exhibit and Superhead to a nightclub. They walk in, hit the VIP lounge, and things take a wild turn. Exhibit describes seeing two dudes kissing and another guy dancing butt naked.
Man, I ain't gonna touch that shit, man. Fuck that shit.
He bailed without even telling Diddy. So, controversies and feuds are swirling around Diddy, involving explicit materials, bizarre club scenarios, and unexpected turns. Wrapping things up, the Bad Boy Records chronicles serve a mix of drama, challenges, and unexpected turns. From Diddy's alleged mistreatment of artists to feuds and controversies, it's been a roller coaster ride in the music world. The stories of Lil Jerome, Carl Thomas, Maze, Faith Evans, and others paint a picture of artists facing challenges, making unexpected life choices, and defending their own paths post-Bad Boy. The controversies involving Diddy, 50 Cent, Method Man, and Exhibit add layers of intrigue to the mix. As the storm clouds gather over Bad Boy Records, with lawsuits, settlements, and potential legal battles on the horizon, the future of this famed record label hangs in the balance. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to stay tuned for more updates on this controversial scene in the hip-hop music industry.